Hello and welcome to the Traveling Knitter channel. A bird just flew and landed on the sill above me. Anyway, this is a podcast about knitting. This video is going to be about the things that I've been making since my last episode. On this channel, you will find the traditional knitting podcast, the video podcast, as well as to be read lists and wrap-ups. So those are monthly videos. My name is Steph, and I live in downtown Columbus, Ohio. And it is July 2021. I'm not gonna give the days anymore because I don't upload the day that I record. So yeah. Let's just jump in. The summer sock camp is still going on. I think it ends at the end of August. I unfortunately do not have any finished socks to show you. That basically brings my total to only one finished pair, but you know what? That's okay because I made progress on all of them. So the first one I'll show you is the slowest going sock that I have. And it is this one. This one's out of the Lina 52 Weeks of Sock book, and it is the Avena socks, and they look like that. So I am following the suggested pattern that they have, which there is a typo. It's not a big deal, but I noticed that, I don't know if no one else has knit these socks or if they're just not that popular. I don't remember, but that's the second mistake that I found in the pattern where there is no errata online. So I need to figure out, like, who do I contact about that, because there's two mistakes in there that I've found, and I am at the heel and I don't understand the heel. So this has been a bit of a frustrating sock. You know, it took me several attempts to get this pattern down, and now that I'm at the heel, I just don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna hold it far away for just like a quick flash. That's the sock, right? Like, that's a lot of text. And I am supposed to be doing the gusset, and literally the gusset is this, all of this. That's a lot of words. So yeah, and the error that I found is in the gusset. It's a minor error, but it also is throwing me off because it's basically saying, so it says, mark the first stitch of the round with a locking marker. So the beginning of the round will line up with the central stitch, and then start the gusset. And then the next instructions is for the whole round, right? So I've placed one marker, and it says, do something through the marked stitch, then follow the pattern as established to the marked stitch. So I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it means that I do, like, they're counting the marked stitch as the beginning and the end, but that's confusing to me. Why would you address the marked stitch in the same round? So maybe that is, but I wish there was like a note that says marked stitch is the beginning of round or something, because that's, to me, that's confusing. So this pattern has been confusing. And I would not call myself a beginner knitter. I would not call myself an intermediate knitter. I would call myself an advanced knitter. So I'm confused there, but so this has just been, it's, you know, it's not easy TV knitting. Oh, I should give the author. It is Natalia Vasilyeva. Avena is the sock. So I did mark my stitch here. I am pretty much prepared to do the gusset, but I am not quite there. I have knit longer than the established pattern because I have this much left of my 50-gram skein, and I have 4 of them. So I was like, you know, let's just make a lot. But I didn't want to make it longer because I was concerned that this wasn't going to go over my calves. My calves are soccer calves, so they are large. They're like barely smaller than my thighs. So yeah, I didn't want this to cut off my circulation and then not be able to wear them. So here is how far I got. Make the gusset, and then in theory I should use up all of this and then break into, well, I haven't even weighed it. I'm just going by visualizing it, but I feel like I'll use the whole thing up before I get to the end. If you want to make this sock because you really like it, I did follow the suggested patterning here. I am using a crochet hook. I'm finding that if I don't use a crochet hook, I get very frustrated. And I am using the Addi Flexi Flips in the only size that I have of them, which is not printed on here. That's unfortunate. Huh. Yeah, it's at least not that I can see. Oh well. The yarn that I'm using is Kobasi by Haiku, and they were $7.50 back in 2013. Stitch marker has been moved. My goal with these socks is to have them finished before summer sock camp ends, because I would love to have an entry in every single camp. And I think these are gonna look gorgeous over my boots. I love wearing boots, like combat style boots, hiker style boots. I love wearing boots, and I think these would look so cute just peeking out of them. They're in a very cute bag. It's like a geometric owls, and it's very floppy. There's no interfacing in it. It's basically just two pieces of cotton fabric. Next up are two socks. There are 2 more socks, one of which that you've seen the beginning of, and then one, I don't even know. I don't know. So next up are these, which are on Magic Loop, and this is in Lina issue 2, and they are the Blomst socks by Jessica Gore. And can I show you a picture of them in here? There we go. So that's what they look like. Lace detail on both sides, and then garter in the center. Okay. So last time I showed you, I was down here. Basically, I had done the toe. Here's the back. This yarn is gorgeous. I love the blues and the purples. I wish it wasn't doing, you know, the pooling striping thing, but it's not super noticeable. I am currently working on the gusset. Yeah. And I wish I had read the instructions instead of just keep going. I don't do a lot of toe up socks, and so my perception of when I need to do the heel is a little bit off. Also, I've been doing a lot of German short row heels, so you don't need, like, your heel turn and gusset is, or there is no gusset, right? It's just the heel turn. Yeah, so I'm doing the gusset, and I'm concerned that doing the gusset is gonna add too much fabric and it's going to lengthen the sock too much. So it's saying that you start the gusset when you still have 4 inches before your heel. I don't know if that's 4 inches stretched or 4 inches unstretched. I like my socks with negative ease, and when I'm measuring my socks, I am stretching them because that's how I would end up wearing them. So I'm a bit concerned that there's going to be too much fabric and they're going to be too big. So many of my socks are too big. So yeah, I need to increase to 56. And also, the last few times that I've been doing a heel turn and gusset, I have not done the full, like what they have you do. I cut it in half. So my heel and my gusset is like half the length of what the pattern recommends. So I'm not sure, am I gonna do that for this? I really don't wanna give these socks away. Like, I want these socks to be mine because the colorway is just gorgeous. I think the pattern of the socks is really cute. I love the garter ridge in the center. So I'm just gonna, you know, be very conscious. And really, socks don't take that long, right? That's not a ton of knitting here. So I think I have been trying them on, which I will say, of all of the techniques that you use, Magic Loop lets you try your socks on. So I have been trying the socks on. They are fitting, but I mean, I still have the heel to go, and the heel is gonna add fabric as well. So we'll see. I will probably do that. I'll add the heel and then I'll put it on and then see, is this too big? And if it is, I'll just rip back, right? Like, I want these socks. Don't make them big. The yarn is Happy Feet 100 Splash, hand-dyed yarn by Plymouth Company, and the colorway is Blueberry. Here's what the cake looks like. So cute. And the project bag is one that I made myself. I bought the fabric at Aldi, except for the inner lining. It's just dots. Very cute. The last sock is in this You're Like Really Pretty bag that I found at Target in the $5 section. And these are the vanilla socks that I am knitting with my 9-inch circulars. And yeah, you would have seen basically the very beginning of this. And here's how much I've done. There's my progress keeper. I have done, like, I think this is 20 rounds, and then I do 10 per each, so practically 50 rounds since I last showed you. This yarn is from, it's Sensations, which was Joann's yarn originally, and it's a 75/25. The color is 1811 and looks, you know, like that. It's a very patriotic yarn. I'm making these, I think, for my dad. And I did get this yarn from a friend. I probably, because this happened years and years and years ago, I think I've mentioned this many times, but an old college friend, she was in the yarn yarn. She was in the knit group, the knit club that I helped start. And she graduated the year before me, but a friend of mine from high school is like, they're now best friends. And so it was just really funny when she appeared. I was like, wait, we used to be friends. We're college friends. So anyway, her Oma had passed away, and so she had gone and grabbed all the yarn, and this is one of those skeins that I got to keep. So vanilla yarn sock, right? Not much to talk about. It is I think it's 56 stitches, and it's my 9-inch circulars, which I think are size 1. Yep, size 1, 2.25 Hiya Sharps. I really should buy more, because of all of the sock needles that I use my 9-inch circulars the most, because they're the most comfortable. I get the most even tension. I don't get laddering, so I really like those. Now, you would think that I would have gotten more sock knitting done, but some other projects have kind of waylaid me. One of those being the tank top that I started. This is in my fringe field bag that I made. So this is from the pattern that was released, and I made my own, and I love it so much. And in here is, I can show you a picture, my Argyle tank by Claire Lakewood. And it will look like this. This is in Pom Pom issue 29, which is the summer 2019 version. Looks like that. And I'm knitting it out of the same yarn, and here it is. So this is the back. Pretty sure it's the back. The rusty color is the same color that's in the pattern, but I went with this kind of pinkish nude color instead of the gray. So here's what those two look like. And I thought I had, okay, I do. So the linen is this one right here. That's Quince & Co. Sparrow, and it is in the penny colorway. And then the other one is Turn, which is 75% American wool and 25% silk, and it is in the Cumulus colorway. And the tags are just so pretty. Like, they've got patterning on them, flowers, and not the same flowers either. Really pretty. So you can see I spent $10.50 on the Sparrow and $12 on the Turn. And according to the pattern, I will only need 1 skein of Turn, and it says I will need 3 skeins of Sparrow, but in my experience, I never need as much yarn as it says, so I did not cake up this 3rd skein. Just in case I don't need it, then, you know, it's not caked up. So I do have the other one. I will say these balls are just so messy. So messy. They just get everywhere. I can't wait for this tank top. I want to have this finished this year and wear it this, you know, this summer, fall, whatever. I want to be able to wear this. And it's been very easy to knit. And I think that's kind of why I've picked this up instead of the socks, because other than the vanilla sock, you know, that white one is definitely a lot of brain power. The purpley one, I have now memorized it, but now that I'm at the gusset, I have to like read what I'm doing because I do want to follow what the instructions are telling me to do rather than just do my own. And this right now is almost straight knitting. So really enjoying it. And then lastly, in another project bag that I made myself is my Ripple Bralette by Jessie May Designs. Look at all of that progress. I have finally reached the body part. So I made quite a lot of progress. I took this with me. I had a dental procedure, very easy, not really painful. Honestly, the most painful part was getting numb. And that was more painful than I ever remember being numbed in my mouth. So I don't know. That was weird because I wasn't expecting it to be that intensely painful. I think it's because they did it a little bit differently than my previous dentist. Essentially what I needed to do was I had a crack in the same tooth that I have a filling. I only have one filling and it's that one, and that's where the crack is. So they can't just fix the crack. They had to remove the filling to then deal with the crack. So what they did was they numbed one vein, that vein for that tooth, and then they did like mild numbing everywhere else, but like I could feel it all. So it wasn't like fully numb. And so I think maybe that's why it was so painful, because previously my last dentist just numbed everything that was here. So I couldn't feel anything on that side of my face. So when they go into numb, I think they had numbed all of this and then numbed that vein, because you're literally sticking that needle like directly into that gum above that tooth. So that was pretty painful, and I think it was just the process of doing that. And then when I was losing that numbing, so I was getting feeling back to my mouth, the tooth wasn't hurting, it was that entry point of the needle of getting numb that was stinging. So weird, but I brought this with me, and this dentist I feel like it's pretty unique in that it's a very, I'm gonna just call it's a bougie dentist. You go in and you can, your chair, not this time because I was getting surgery, but the typical cleanings, your chair is like a massage chair, so you can get a massage while you're doing that. You get to pick your own essential oils that are diffused while you're getting your cleaning. So yeah, and they're very into like explaining everything, making sure you understand it. It's a very like calm, instead of being a sterile place, it's a very, I don't know, it's kind of like I think they're going for that spa vibe. So, you know, with this, I'm never scared when I go to the dentist. Dentists have never been a sore spot for me. I've never had any sort of bad experience. Other than as I get older, my jaw is just more sore when I leave the dentist. So I wasn't stressed about anything about the dentist. I was more stressed about work. And so going to the dentist was almost like a break from work. And I put on my music and I just laid there and just listened to music while they were, you know, doing whatever they were doing. And it was very, very quick. Honestly, what took the longest was waiting for the numbing to take effect, and then the 3D printing of the top part of my tooth that they then put in. So I got a lot of knitting done at the dentist, is basically what I'm trying to say with that story. So I have gotten to the body. I have switched needles to the larger needles, and I'm following the pattern. I have my first fully completed incarnation of this, and I'm using that as my guide instead of measuring it, because, you know, I can just hold it up and then see. So, you know, with this, I ended up deciding that I wanted the band longer. So again, I just held it up and I made the band like 3. It's hard to say because can you see like how much tighter this is than this? But I held it up and then I went about 3 rounds more on here to just make it a little bit longer. And I'm thinking I might make the body a little bit longer as well. We'll see. So I have this much yarn left, a whole bunch. I still haven't made it to where I had cast off the last, or not cast off, where I had like, where I was when I frogged. And I have, you know, I have all this yarn still. I want to make a pair of socks with my leftovers. Not sure what kind of sock, but that I think is what's going to happen with the leftovers of this. Or should I make a hat? I don't know. I'm going to make something else with this though, because this is one of my favorite colorways that I've ever bought. And it is Teal Torch Knits, Dancing on Top of Cars. Those are all the projects that I've been working on since the last time I did a video, and I made progress on all of them. The next time I podcast, I would love to have 1 pair of socks completed. I don't care which one. I mean, it would be awesome if it was the Avena ones, but I don't know. Those take a very long time. Those pattern repeats take a long time, and yeah, so that would be awesome if I could finish it, but I have a feeling it's going to either be the vanilla or the Blomst, because those are easier and quicker to knit. I don't know. I want all of them finished, because I would love to wear the Ripple bralette, and I would love to wear the tank top this summer. And I mean, I have a knit along that I'm participating in for the other 3. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions about any of the projects that I showed in today's episode, let me know. You can write a comment down below or send me a message on any of the social medias that I would have shown at the beginning of the video. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe if you like the content, and I will see you in the next video.